Welcome to week 5. This week we watched Bambi. Bambi is another movie that jumps straight into the story. It opens on a pan of the forest, and I just really love the realistic backgrounds and use of the multiplane camera for this shot. And everything's a lot more realistic than everything felt in Dumbo. The actions are very believable. Bambi is very shy, he's a little unsure, but he's very curious, and his body language is very expressive. Thumper's trying to teach him how to say the word bird, and when he says bird, he wriggles his nose a little bit, and then Bambi, when he's imitating Thumper, also wriggles his nose, thinking that it's part of how you're supposed to say the word bird. Bambi makes a couple other cute mistakes. One of the iconic ones is when he's sniffing around the flower bed and a skunk pops up and Bambi calls him Flower, and the skunk says, "It's okay, he can call me Flower if he wants to." A lot of this movie has a very happy-go-lucky feel. There's a lot of cute animals and adorable interactions and little awkwardness and stuff like that, prancing around, all kinds of stuff. My favorite character in Bambi is Thumper, and I just think that he's really hilarious. He totally knows better than a lot of the things that he chooses to do, but he breaks the rules, and then he's visibly and audibly guilty when he's caught. He seems very sheepish. He does this whole thing with his arms behind his back and sways back and forth and doesn't look at directly at his mother and recites the thing that he's supposed to say, or the thing that he was supposed to have done. During that first spring, Bambi does meet Feline. She is a female deer. When Bambi meets her, his ears pop up, and it's really cute. But he is very shy, and it's funny when his mother says, are you scared to talk to her? And he vehemently denies this. He shakes his head. He's like, no, I'm not scared to talk to her. We journey with Bambi through the spring, and then there's a nice transition through the seasons, through the fall and winter, using the leaves and the snow. And then we get some really great comedic scenes in the snow and on the ice where Bambi loses his footing. And then, of course, we come to the scene where Bambi's mother is shot in the meadow, and it's so heartbreaking. He listens to her. He does exactly what she said. She tells him, run back into the thicket, don't look back. And he does, and he gets there, and he calls for his mother, paints this picture of despair to watch him walking around looking for her as the snow's falling down. But then, of course, we abruptly jump to the spring again, and it's a jovial atmosphere. So, in the second spring, the owl talks about something called being Twitter-pated. And I love this term. I think it's very fun. And it's used to describe basically the animals falling in love with each other. And the adolescent critter's reaction to the concept of Twitter-pated is so funny, because it's just like what you would expect a bunch of human teenage boys to act like. They're like, ugh, no, gross, that's gross. But then, each of the animals individually, they all end up falling in love with their counterparts, and Bambi's counterpart is Feline. And she kisses him when he has gotten his antlers stuck in a tree, which is a really funny, adorable, awkward, really representative of actual adolescence type picture that you get there. And this awkward Bambi contrasts really well with his change of mood to defend Feline against another buck, and then later the hunting dogs who are there with Man, and then Man shoots Bambi and accidentally starts a forest fire, and the whole fire animation is just the fire itself, and it gradually spreads, and the glow and the lighting. It's all very impressive, but also so destructive and interesting to see this take on what it means to have man in the forest. It's very sad to see the after effects of the fire, but then this is paired with the uplifting scene of Bambi and Feline reuniting, and the film comes full circle the following spring, so that's the third spring we're on, with the birth of Bambi and Feline's fawns. They have their own offspring. For the animation in Bambi, I give it 5 Mickeys. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous landscapes and just really beautiful animals. The plot gets 4 Mickeys. It's simple. It's believable. This is the first movie we have that doesn't have any sort of supernatural element, and I think that makes the plot kind of a little more interesting in a way. For the emotion, I give it 4 Mickeys. You just experience a very broad range of emotions throughout this movie, and they contrast really well against each other. For the music in Bambi, I give it 3 Mickeys. It's pretty, it's ambient, it fits the film, but it's just not a lot really to remember. And overall, for Bambi, Bambi gets 5 Mickeys. It's same word all over again. It's beautiful. The characters are great, and it's amazing to see the characterization with such little dialogue. And this is a movie that just really strikes the heart. Hi, Reggie. You feeling better this week? Yeah. Do you think that Bambi deserves to get a whole 5 Mickeys? Yes. That looks like a yes to me.